Hey there, Dan Martell here, serial entrepreneur, investor, and creator of SaaS Academy. And in this episode, I'm going to share with you how to plan your year and get it all in, the business, the professional, and put it on one single page. It's a huge promise, but trust me, if you're a driven entrepreneur and you feel like you're always forgetting key moments, you're not going to want to miss this. And at the end, I'm going to share with you how to get access to the template that I use to put it all in one spot. Let's get into it. First off, I want to talk about the VNeck. I know you've probably never seen me wear a V. I do from time to time. I'm just going to put a plug in here. If you haven't checked out, it's on Vimeo, SNL VNeck. Search that. You're welcome. It's hilarious. And anytime I wear a VNeck, this is what I think about. So now that I've distracted you, I want to talk about, for me, the challenges around planning my year. You know, it was about 5 years ago after we had kids. I was building my company, Clarity. My wife had an agency, and we were just really trying to get the most out of it. But you gotta understand, we're two entrepreneurs in the family. I've been building companies now for 20 years. I've had a lot of success. I feel super grateful to have, financially become extremely wealthy, building and scaling software companies, and now coaching some of the best entrepreneurs in the world. But through that, there's a lot of demand on my time, my wife's time, and we want to be present families. So I actually learned this strategy that I'm going to teach with you today from my friend Taki Moore. So Taki is one of the top coaches in helping coaches coach. Very meta, I know. But anyways, what's funny is Taki taught it to me, and I wanted to share it with my coaching clients. And then I found out that actually one of my current coaching clients, Dale Beaumont, who's huge in Australia, is actually the guy that taught Taki a decade prior. Sounds crazy, but I just want to give attribution, give credit where credit is due. And Dale was actually at one of my live events as an attendee, and I was like, hey man, I'm going to teach this framework because I think it's world class. Would you mind sharing, your process? And he got up and he shared 10 years worth of this planning process and strategy that's allowed him to, if you follow Dale on Facebook, social media, etc., he lives a highly integrated, high quality of life, and he's an incredibly high performer. And that to me is the benefit of being able to assess in a 12-month period all the key elements that you want to get in there to make sure that you're really squeezing the most out of life on both a personal and professional level, and ensuring that that you're doing that in a way that you're not wasting time having to replan. So these are the 5 key strategies that you need to build a solid 1-year plan for your life. Number 1, big rocks first. Now, if you've never heard the analogy of the big rocks, essentially glass jar, you've got sand, pebbles, and rocks. If you put the sand in first, then the pebbles and the rocks, you can't fit everything in the jar. You put the big rocks in first, then the pebbles, then the sand. Then the cool part is you can pour in water on top of that. That is the spice of life. You can make it all work. So the key is you got to put the big stuff in. So when I think of my year, okay, number 1, critical business commitments, speaking engagements, my live events, etc. All the things that are critical to the business goes in. Because the family stuff, we're going to make sure we get the quality time. But when those things happen, other than we have 2 week vacations, separate weeks, one with my family, one with my wife's family, those are kind of locked and loaded. Everything else fits around that. The key is just to make sure that you put the birthdays in there. You put the if you have any friends that are doing, weddings, etc. Just make sure that you source all of that before you go into your planning strategy, so you've got the big rocks. Because the last thing you want to do, and I've experienced this, is double book, find out after the fact, not ask, forgot to write a date down, realize that you've overcommitted, that you're in a different part of the world and you want to be at something that's important, etc. Or have to cancel on somebody if you made a commitment and then now you got to go back on it because you had a personal thing that you wanted to take precedence, but all you had to do is just be aware. The key is to source and get all that information, so you put the big rocks in first. Number 2, revenue milestones. Regardless of what business you're in, the way I think about it is there are certain projects, key outcomes, key moments throughout your year that if you think about the next 12 months, especially if you're the founder and CEO, that you need to understand and lock in regards to the cadence in the rhythm of your year to be successful. So understanding if that's a marketing launch, a product release, a live event, workshops, key hiring, fundraising. Put those big revenue growth oriented milestones in your calendar and maybe block out the week or week prior, because that'll give you confidence to know like, hey, those 2 weeks, I can't go on vacation here because I've got this primary outcome that needs to happen and it needs to be locked and loaded. So for me, the way I think about it is there's only a handful of things in an annual basis, maybe 3 to 5, that are critical to drive my goals and dreams forward. And those go in the planning so that I don't accidentally overcommit myself prior to one of those big outcomes and get in a bad spot. Number 3, think once. One of the benefits of planning this way is that you think once. So much of time, energy is wasted on having to rethink situations. I have one of my best friends. I love him, but here's a scenario. And he's gotten crazy better, like 4 times better. But there was a point where the way he lived his life was very ad hoc. And what that meant was he wouldn't plan, he'd show up here and he'd forget this, or he would commit to this and forget that. And like literally his life was chaotic because it was always a rush to fix these other commitments to people, waking up early, going to the office, coming back, meeting with this person on a Sunday, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The way I think about it is I save all of that mental overload or overhead because I think once. I look at my year, I'm like, okay, I think once, and then I don't have to think about it again. This is the plan. So the benefit of doing that, I mean, I don't know if you've ever gone back and forth on something. Most founders, especially I'm talking to the CEOs there, the ones that I coach, this is the critical, is our ability to make decisions fast is what allows us to unlock growth. Anytime I see a company struggling to grow, it's because they haven't made a decision. It's literally just making a decision. And using this strategy to think once will allow you to build it and then not have to think about it again. And it'll give you clarity to communicate to other people in your life that might be demanding your time if you can or can't do it quickly versus maybe let me get back to you, etc. So it just allows your team, you yourself to just think once, get it done, and make it easier on your life. Number 4, stress tests. Once you've designed this, and I'm going to give you the template in a second, once you've designed this one-page preloaded year, you'll be able to stress test it. You'll be able to look at it. The way I think about it is I'm adding, typically I work on the professional stuff first. Obviously the personal birthdays, all that's there. It's present. It's almost now part of our template. And then we add the professional and then I synchronize on the personal. So essentially my wife does her professional stuff. I do mine. We merge the calendars together. Then we do our personal stuff. What kind of vacations do we want to do? What kind of hobby trips we want to take on? Who do we want to spend time with within the year? And we look at it and we try to get our year kind of 75% committed, like at the beginning of the year, so that we know what we're doing. We're asking ourselves, if we execute, will we end up at the end of the year going, man, that was an incredible 12 months, right? So it looks a little daunting, feel a little overwhelming. You're like, wow, that's a lot of stuff. But honestly, when you get into the motion, you do this a few years in a row. We've been doing this now for about four years, I think. It's just a really great cadence to get into. And for me, it's all about sequencing. So I learned a long time ago in scaling companies that sequencing equals success. It's not about the list of things you do. Just like, if you're baking a cake, it's not about the ingredients. It's about the order that you put those ingredients in to get the outcome, in that case, a cake in your life, growth in your business, growth in your marriage, presence with your family, etc. World-class relationships, all that fun stuff. So make sure that you stress test it by looking at the completed plan to know that it's going to deliver on the outcomes you're trying to achieve for your life. And number 5, work the plan. So there's no point in doing all this prep work and designing it and prepping, etc., if you're not going to focus and commit to what you've committed to. So my whole thing is blinders on. Will 10% of what we plan change? Yeah, it's about 10%. But for the most part, it's there. And the way we do it is we have an F yeah decision-making process, okay? Change the F for a more explicit word. But we have a process where my wife and I ask ourselves, is that an F yeah thing? So if something new comes in throughout the year and it's like conflicting with something we've already committed to, we'll just ask ourselves, is that an F yeah for you? And if both of her and I are in agreement, then boom, we change it, we swap it out. But for the most part, we want to work the plan. We don't want to have to go back on decisions. We don't want to add that cognitive overhead. We literally just want to say this, if we execute, is going to be amazing. Let's make it happen. Let's get it to come to life. Let's get everybody on board so they understand how to communicate and work with us. And that to me is how we do a fully preloaded year that's going to get your business growing, your relationship in check, your health on point, present with your family, and really try to squeeze as much as you can out of your year. So quick recap, how to plan your year to fit everything in on one page, what I call the preloaded year. Number 1, big rocks first. Number 2, revenue milestones for growth. Number 3, think once, reduce that mental overhead. 4, stress test, sequencing equals success. And work the plan, put the blinders on. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, I want to share with you the preloaded year template. This was created from my buddy Taki. I've revised it a little bit for my clients. It was taught to him by Dale Beaumont. You can click the link below to get your copy. The way to use it, the way I instruct my clients is create a colored legend at the bottom. So you might do personal, family stuff, work, hobbies, nonprofit, whatever you want, maybe 5 or 6 categories in different colors. And then when you're adding stuff to the calendar, because it's a one-pager and you're adding like your color coding, like vacation, that's family, so that might be green, work stuff is blue, nonprofit stuff is yellow, and you just kind of like fill in the color code. Because here's what I've discovered as a little tip is life is about energy flows. So for example, one thing I look for is I make sure that after a heads down compressed time of business focus, those revenue milestones, for me, live events, right after I'm trying to do something with my family. Because I know the week prior, I'm probably not going to be as present as I'd like to be, as I prep, as I focus, as I get ready. So the week after is a great opportunity for me to decompress and just be 100% present, because my clients, I've filled up their tanks, they're jiving, they're pumped, and then I can be a lot present. So for me, when I look at it, I use the colors to provide energy flows, to assess the year, to make sure that it's not, start, stop with different things. And I'm always looking for just even in travel stuff. If there's like this trip's here and this trip's there, if I change this, I can do it in the same location, saves me travel days, etc. So colored legend, do one for your business, and then do one for the personal and integrate those. You can click the link to download your copy of the preloaded year to work on for yourself. If you like this video, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel. And if there's somebody that you feel like my best friend was a little chaotic and out of control, you want to suggest this video to it, feel free to send it to them. If you're that friend, hello. Great to have you here. And as per usual, I want to challenge you to live a bigger life and a bigger business. And I'll see you next Monday. You never seen this? Oh, dude, I can't even do this video until you watch this.